Ole Miss's top golfer competed in the North Mississippi Classic Golf Tournament.
Coming up, Tori Reese tells us how he did.
Good evening, and thank you for tuning in to Newswatch Ole Miss. I'm Terrence Johnson.
And I'm Jason Price.
Over the weekend, 156 golfers competed in Mississippi's first ever Web.com tour.
Sports Watch reporter Tori Reese is on set to tell you more about what happened. Tori?
Thanks, guys. That's right. I was there bright and early at the Country Club of Oxford to follow the highly anticipated debut of Ole Miss Golf's Braden Thornberry. Take a look at how he did as the only amateur among the pros.
This Thursday kicked off the inaugural North Mississippi Classic for the Web.com Tour. Professionals eyeing to get their cards for the PGA Tour will be aiming to score low. Ole Miss golf star Braden Thornberry also participated as an amateur, marking his debut at a PGA event. Expectations around him were high.
Just experience. I've said it before. This week's can't be a negative. Just if I play well, obviously it'll be really cool, and if I play bad, you still gain experience for the future when I'm playing this stuff as a pro. So it can't be bad.
It was not the dream debut he expected. The second hole he triple bogeyed. Through ups and downs, he shot a 3 over in the first round, putting him in danger of missing the cut for the weekend. Despite missing fairways and greens, the #1 amateur in the world wouldn't go down quietly.
For sure, playing as an amateur it means a little more, I think, maybe to me than some guys. Even though I am playing as an amateur, it's kind of a hometown event. You don't want to quit on the home crowd and stuff like that. And that's never been, how I handled it anyway. I've always liked, even if I was going to miss the cut, still try till the end. So that's kind of how I've always handled it.
With that mentality, the junior from Olive Branch regained his composure, shooting 3 under on day 2, making the cut for the weekend. Missed opportunities on day 1 turned into makes for the rest of the tournament. He carried that momentum even further on Saturday with another 3 under, now rising up the leaderboards. Even with the downpouring rain on Sunday, didn't faze him as he hit amazing shots, wowing the crowd. Ultimately, the downpour of rain stopped the tournament on day 4 as they reverted back to a 54-hole tournament. Thornberry finished 3 under with an impressive top 25 finish. He'll use that experience to help him moving forward in Ole Miss golf season.
Ultimately, Eric actually won with a score of 11 under, earning him a cool $100,000. Thornberry will compete in the SEC Championship on Wednesday in Georgia. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Tori. The Associated Student Body Senate has made changes to their policies. They have voted to lower the campaign spending cap for executive office candidates and require the publishing of campaign expense vouchers online for the public to see. However, they will not be required to disclose where the money comes from. Ole Miss does have the lowest spending cap in the SEC at $1,500 for presidential candidates, $1,000 for other executive officers, and $300 for Senate candidates.
On Saturday, the University of Mississippi Department of Health, Exercise Science, and Recreation Management hosted the 3rd annual Amtrak's in Action race. The race comprised 75 laps around the circle, which is almost 25 miles, and was held to benefit disabled veterans. Teams made up of 8 to 10 members raced modified tricycles called Amtrikes, which were donated to disabled veterans after the race. 8 trikes were donated in total to both student veterans and veterans of North Mississippi. A 25-year-old Holly Springs man is being held on a $500,000 bond on 4 charges related to Thursday's shooting spree half a block from the Oxford Police Department. 25-year-old Zane Shipp allegedly fired shots at victim Jeremy Long after a fight took place between the two outside of the Rockettes One Stop Express on Molly Bar Road. Shipp has been charged with aggravated assault with the use of a deadly weapon, drive-by shooting, possession of a stolen firearm, and possession of marijuana with intent to sell.
Today, Nashville police arrested a suspect in the murder of 4 people at a Waffle House. Roughly 160 officials were involved in the search for the suspect, Travis Rayking. Officers say the 29-year-old used an AR-15 rifle to carry out the rampage. 4 people were killed, with another 4 wounded. One customer, James Shaw Jr., wrestled the rifle away from the shooter while he was reloading. Rayking then fled the scene. He was arrested near the White House last July when he crossed a security barrier in pursuit of meeting with the president. And now the Waffle House hero has come out and said that he isn't a hero. He was just looking for an opportunity to save others and himself. Shaw wrestled the gun away until the shooter fled the scene.
You have to either react or you're gonna, fold. And I chose to react because I didn't see any other way of me, living. And that's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to live.
Officials say the shooter shed his green jacket shortly after the scuffle with Shaw. It was found with 2 loaded magazines in the pockets.
Ole Miss strives to expose students to different cultures. Grayson Ashmore is in the newsroom to tell us more about an event that the university held this weekend.
Thanks, Jason. I attended the International Festival in Lamar Hall on Saturday. I talked with students and organizations to find out more about the importance of events like these.
Basically, every country has set up their own table and representing their country as well as their culture around there, and making people learn about what their country represents. Basically increases your perspective about life and get out of your comfort zone and learn about something different which you're already not accustomed to, and as well as learn about something different which you're not a part of, because I think it expands your view of the world.
I sat down with Ole Miss organization Global Brigades to learn more about their service to others.
Global Brigades is an international program, and we send mission trips over to different parts of the world, primarily Central America, in order to provide for the needs of these rural communities that are really lacking in some regards.
It just takes a few really dedicated people that really care about what they're doing to take our organization to the next level. That's just really what we want, is to have more people that want to make a positive impact and make a change and help somebody that's not too different from themselves but is in a very different situation, and give them something that we've had access to our entire lives.
The event represented about 30 different countries and was well received by the people involved. Reporting live from the newsroom, Grayson Ashmore, Newswatch Ole Miss.
Thanks, Grayson. If you're interested in becoming an Ole Miss cheerleader, your shot is coming up.
Denver Haggard is in the studio to let you know how you could be cheering on the sidelines. Denver?
Thanks, guys. And yes, that is right. Cheerleading tryouts for both co-ed and all-girl squads are coming soon. Earlier today, I spoke with some hopeful returners and got their secret to success at tryouts.
As Ole Miss cheerleading season is coming to a close, returning team members, community college transfers, and entering freshmen are preparing for tryouts. One of the returning members is freshman Tucker Hendricks.
I have been most days conditioning, running in the stadium, and tumbling in the IPF, and getting with the returning girls and stunning with them a lot. It's been a lot of hard work.
Just as physical fitness is a necessity, Tucker makes it a top priority to form good study habits and maintain a high GPA.
I encourage anyone who is interested in cheerleading to try out because it was a great opportunity. Like Ole Miss cheer, Rebelettes, it's co-ed, all-girl. It's been great and everyone loves it, so I highly recommend it.
While preparing for tryouts and recovering from surgery, the recently awarded Rookie of the Year and Ole Miss freshman Brady Rayleigh shares his preparation secrets.
It's been a great year being Ole Miss cheerleader. I was fortunate enough as a freshman to be on Nationals mat. We competed at game day and got third. After that, I've recently had my 5th knee surgery, and since then I've just been working in rehab every day to get back and prepared for tryouts next year.
Ole Miss cheers looking for dedicated candidates who are able to represent Ole Miss in a positive way on game day, social media, and in the community. For more information and tryout requirements, visit spirit.olemissrebels.com. Back to y'all at the desk.
Thanks, Denver. See what royal addition made its way home to Kensington Palace this weekend.
We will have that and more next, but first, Cameron Sibley has your first look at the current conditions.
Hey Rebels, happy Monday. As we take a look at our current weather headlines, you can see we are going to see some rain this week. We are going to have some pretty good thunderstorms on Friday, but we will have a sunny weekend. As we take a look at our current radar image, you can see a little bit of rain over Oxford right now, but coming up on Storm Watch, I'll tell you exactly what to expect for the rest of the week.
What to expect when you're expecting a teenager.
Today we're talking about how to wake up your teen, and this works literally every time.
Good kisses. Good kisses.
I know, I heard. It wasn't you. It was the...
Is that bacon?
You don't have to know it all to be a perfect parent. Thousands of teens in foster care will love you just the same.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
Yes, you've got pre-diabetes. But with more exercise and a change in diet, it can be reversed.
I've tried exercising. It just makes me hungry for bacon.
I love bacon, too. And who really likes to exercise?
Not me.
Me neither.
Nobody. So we're good?
What? Oh, you still have pre-diabetes. Big time.
Earlier today, a white van slammed into pedestrians on a crowded sidewalk in the north end of Toronto. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau says his thoughts and prayers are with those affected.
Obviously, we're just learning about the situation in Toronto. Our hearts go out to anyone affected. We're going to obviously have more to learn and more to say in the coming hours. And we'll
Several people were injured. The driver killed 9 people and injured 16. Witnesses say that the driver was going 70 to 80 kilometers per hour when he began hitting people. The driver has been arrested. President Trump will welcome French President Emmanuel Macron to the United States for an official state visit today. The two presidents' relationship started a little rocky after a tense handshake at their first meeting at a NATO summit last May, but Macron says he's looking forward to the visit.
During the state visit, we will have the opportunity to discuss a lot of bilateral issues and to discuss about our security, about trade, and a lot of multilateral issues very important for our countries and beyond.
Macron is expected to press President Trump for concessions on matters where the United States and France have not been aligned, including the military strategy in Syria, the Iran nuclear deal, and trade. The meeting is expected to give a definite answer on the current exemptions for the European Union from U.S. imported tariffs on steel and aluminum on May 1st. President Trump's former wife, Ivana Trump, says she doesn't think it's necessary for the president to run for re-election in 2020. In an interview to the Page Six, she cited her ex-husband's age, saying maybe he should just go and play golf and enjoy his fortune. Ivana Trump told Page Six she speaks to the president every month and that she thinks he misses his freedom. She was married to Trump for 15 years and the couple had 3 children, Donald Jr., Eric, and Ivanka. As for the president himself, he filed for re-election just after his inauguration last year.
A former NFL kicker has apologized for a photo of his daughter and her prom date that includes him holding a gun. Jay Feely tweeted this photo Saturday with the comment, "Wishing my beautiful daughter and her date a great time at prom, #badboys." The tweet got mixed reviews. Critics said it represented irresponsible gun ownership and that it stereotyped women as lacking sexual agency and needing the protection of their fathers. Feely tweeted yesterday the photo was obviously intended to be a joke. It went on to say he takes gun safety seriously and did not intend to be insensitive to that important issue. South Korea stopped its propaganda speaker operation. Giant speakers near the demilitarized zone between the two countries broadcast music, news, and weather forecasts into North Korea. South Korea's defense ministry says the decision was made to ease tension ahead of this week's historic summit between the leaders of the two Koreas. The two Koreas are expected to meet this Friday. The Duchess of Cambridge has left St. Mary's Hospital with Prince William and the newborn son less than 24 hours after the birth. They returned home to Kensington Palace Their other two children, 4-year-old Prince George and 2-year-old Princess Charlotte, left the hospital earlier after a short visit. Kensington Palace said in a statement Prince William and Kate would like to thank everyone at the hospital and the public for the warm wishes. Kate and the baby are said to be doing well. As a cold front moved through the south this weekend, it brought some rain to Oxford, but brought something much worse to residents in a small Alabama town.
I was terrified. I was holding on, and there was nothing we could do. We couldn't get out. We wouldn't want to get out.
Martha and Jerry Wright could hear the roar as an EF0 tornado passed over their camper.
Tried to get everything secured as much and fast as we could, and our coach was shaking violently. Finally got our slides in, and it was over.
The strength of the tornado flipped 5 campers on their side, sending 4 people to the hospital and leaving the RV resort in disarray.
We had at least 2 of those RVs with people entrapped that were somewhat mobile but hadn't been able to get their way out. So we immediately tried to prioritize which ones were the most significantly injured because we did get information that we had some injuries. We did remove 3 victims that had serious enough injuries to be transported.
The Wrights watched it all unfold.
I had to break the windows out and then lift them out. And, both of them had, one went out the back and one out the door as the door was up in the air.
More rain is expected in Foley throughout the week, but nothing severe.
You know, Jason, I know that April showers are supposed to bring Mayflowers, but I think we need a little more sunlight in Mississippi.
Yes, Terrence, I am so ready for this all to pass, but Cameron Sidley will let you know in her extended forecast coming up on Storm Edge.
Fancy pants peanut butter? A big screen television? You haven't even bought a sofa yet. A motorcycle? When your father finds out, he's gonna flip his shoes with 2 buckles? What do you even need 2 buckles for? Mr. Big Shot, buying whiskey shots for everybody in the bar. From the looks of it, I'd say nobody even remembers. Feed the pig.
Don't wait. Communicate. Make your emergency plan today.
Hey Rebels, happy Monday. As we take a look at our current temperatures, you can see we're at a pretty cool 61 degrees. We do have a good chance of rain right now at 46% and some strong winds coming in from the west at 5 to 10 miles per hour. As we take a look at our current satellite image, you can see we have some clouds over Oxford right now, just a little bit of rain, but nothing too bad right now, not until this upcoming weekend. As we take a look at our current temperatures, it's pretty cool all around Mississippi right now. We have Holly Springs and South Haven at 58, Oxford at 61, and Corinth and Tupelo the warmest right now at 66. As we take a look at tomorrow's temperatures, you can see It's gonna warm up just a little bit. We have South Haven and Corinth at 68, Holly Springs at 66, Oxford at 67, and Tupelo the warmest tomorrow at 69. So it'll be similar to today. So we take a look at tonight's temperatures. It's just gonna drop down just a little bit to 50 degrees. Again, we do have a chance of rain with some light winds and a 50% chance of rain. So you definitely wanna look out for that rain tonight. As we take a look at tomorrow's forecast, it'll be a similar day to today, 67 degrees, so slightly warmer. We do, again, have that chance of rain and those strong winds coming in at 10 to 15 miles per hour. As we take a look at our 5-day forecast, you can see we're going to continue with that rain for a little bit right now. We have Wednesday at 70, Thursday at 68, Friday also at 68, but then it'll warm up on Saturday and Sunday at 72 and 77, so we're looking at a nice weekend. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Cameron. The Ole Miss baseball team was able to get a huge series win against Georgia, but see what they need to do to beat their arch rival, Mississippi State.
And one Ole Miss tennis player was named to the All-SEC tournament team. See who it was next.
There's one thing you can never have sex without.
It's consent.
Because sex without it isn't sex.
It's rape.
It's on us to stop sexual assault.
Learn how and take the pledge at itsonus.org.
You think getting dumped by text is harsh? Try getting dumped by a tennis ball. My ex-owner drove me out to the woods, yelled fetch, and by the time I bought the ball back, he was gone. Yeah, I was pissed. But the folks at the shelter helped me let go of my anger. I learned coping skills, like taking it to the hole. Boom! Now I'm ready to fetch again. But how about I throw and you run and get it?
Everybody has a dream. Mine was to see the ocean. And with a little help, I made it.
It's a short ride from your neighborhood to your naturehood. To find a neighborhood park or green space near you, visit discovertheforest.org.
On Sports Watch, I'm Tori Rees. You start in baseball, the Rebels put on a show this weekend. Bouncing back from Friday's loss to number 12 Georgia to win back-to-back games on Saturday, 5-1 and 8-4. This marks the Rebs' fourth series win in the SEC, putting them tied in the league for first place in the SEC West. They'll look to get revenge against their rivals Mississippi State in a midweek matchup tomorrow night in Pearl. Ole Miss is 11-0 in midweek games, so that record will be on the line. Now moving on to those concrete tennis courts, the SEC Women's Tennis All-Tournament team was announced and one Ole Miss player made the list. Senior Ariane Hartono got the honors as the number 13 player in the tourney, won both of her single matches. She dominated 10th-ranked Katrina Jokic in the quarterfinals and followed up with even an impressive win against 8th-ranked Astra Sharma. Ole Miss ended up falling to the eventual champion Vanderbilt. The Lady Rebels will have a break in competition before NCAA tournament begins. They are expected to host the first and second rounds. After a crucial away win against the Indiana Pacers to tie the series 2-2 in the first round of the NBA playoffs, Cleveland Cavaliers star LeBron James spoke to media about taking back home court advantage.
3-1 is just it's a huge deficit, and you don't want to ever go down 3-1 versus anybody, no matter if it's first round or all the way up. And if you're fortunate enough to get to the finals, it's just too difficult. So with them coming in our home building and taking away home court advantage in game one, we knew in order to get the series back to us having home court, we had to win one on their floor.
The Cleveland LeBron Jameses, Cavaliers will look to take its first series lead against a tough Indiana team on Wednesday at the Quicken Loans Arena in Cleveland. Staying in the world of the NBA, let's talk about the gift that keeps on giving. Now, I'm not talking about the Lance LeBron saga, which is a fine runner-up, but let's talk about the Kevin Durant, Russell Westbrook saga that reared its head again after KD just casually elected to like an Instagram post ripping Westbrook on Monday. He later commented to ESPN saying it was an inadvertent like due to scrolling too fast. So that's a handy skill to inadvertently find a post of Russ, then inadvertently click on those comments, then inadvertently leave a like. That's none of my business. That's all I have for sports. Be sure to follow us at newswatch_UM to stay up to date on all things sports. Back to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Tori. Do you have $10,000 lying around the house? If you do, you can definitely upgrade your shoe game.
See which Moonwalker shoes are available for auction when we return.
Todd's a great guy. I mean, look at him. What a sweetheart. Attaboy. Wait, Todd, what are you doing? How totally selfish and un-Todd-like of you. Come on, Todd. Come on, man.
We are Ole Miss Rebels. As Mississippi's flagship university, we dig deeper, see farther, work harder. We pioneered human organ transplants. We helped prove Einstein's theory of gravitational waves. We are distinguished as a Carnegie R1 top 2.5% research institution. We are Ole Miss, transforming lives and the world.
Don't ignore the subtext. It's on us to intervene in sexual assault. Because we can. Take the pledge at itsonus.org.
There's a shelter pet who wants to meet you. Meet one today. Visit theshelterpetproject.org. Adopt.
The shoes worn by Michael Jackson when he performed his signature moonwalk for the first time on a stage are going for auction. The King of Pop wore the black loafers during rehearsals for the Motown 25 TV special in 1983. GWS Auctions will sell the Florsheim Imperial leather shoes at a live auction on May 26th.
They estimate that the loafers will sell for around $10,000. The auction house said Jackson gave the shoes to a dancer choreographer after the rehearsal, and that owner has had them ever since. Jackson's performance of Billie Jean for that Motown 25 special marked the debut of the backwards sliding dance known as the moonwalk.
Now, guys, I'm a huge fan of Michael Jackson, so, if I had that $10,000, I might splurge. What about you, Jason?
$10,000, that is a lot of money. But, as we're moonwalking into this week, what is this weather going to be looking like?
It looks like we're going to see a lot of rain this week, but luckily it will be sunny for the weekend, so that's something I'm looking forward to.
Thank you, Cameron. Thank you. That's all we have for tonight. Thank you for tuning in to Newswatch Ole Miss. I'm Terrence Johnson.
Be sure to catch us here again on air at 5 and on our Facebook stream. You can also find our show on hottytoddy.com. I'm Jason Price. Thank you and good night.